first Wednesday program, right? We usually do our Barrens to Bay virtual camp on Fridays only. But as I said in my email, I miss you guys way too much. And it's such a beautiful time of year that let's get out and explore more. There's more to explore than the places we identified initially. So what we're going to be doing each Wednesday prior to that Friday is kind of investigating a precursor to the Friday event. So this Friday, we are going to go seining at Ponquag Bridge in Hampton Bays. And the reason we're going there is it's the premier spot for species collection if you have the permit for an aquaria, and also for seining because you're right near the Shinnecock Inlet and you get all these species that come from the ocean. So tomorrow, Friday is going to be great. So today we are at, I'm going to show you in a minute, we are at Smith's Point Marina, which is right before Smith's Point Bridge to the beach. All right. In fact, I'm going to show you right now. Let me turn it so you can just see where we are. Okay, so, and we'll introduce these fabulous friends in a moment. So this is Smith's Point. Many of you live very close to this location, but there's the bridge over to the beach, and right across the way, if you could see the hut over there, that's where we were the other day or 2 weeks ago when we were with the Fire Island National Seashore. So that's where we were. So this is the Great South Bay. And to connect it to our camp, the Carmen's River is just on the other side of this little peninsula. So this is really the mouth of the Carmen's River. So what we find today can easily be found in the Carmen's River, at least in the mouth of the Carmen's River. So something exciting though. I got here a little early, as you can imagine. You know, why wouldn't I? And dolphins are spotted here in the bay. Hi guys, just go ahead and mute your mic, please. Thank you. So dolphins are spotted this morning in the bay, and I don't know if you could see. Oh, hi. I don't know if you could see, but there's some buoys out there. And those buoys are, the red buoys, are dolphin went this morning. So that's cool. Zoe and Ian, go ahead and mute your mic, love.
Okay.
Thanks, Bub. Thank you. So you never know what will be in this Great South Bay because of the inlets. Now, the closest inlet to this would be, Sean, where would be closest inlet here to Smith's Point?
Traditionally,
right.
Rich's Inlet, but in actuality now, the new inlet, or old inlet, depending on how you talk about it, is, I don't know, about 3/4 of a mile that way.
That way, okay.
Along the shore, so.
Right.
As the crow flies, maybe 3 miles or so that way.
Okay, so you never know what you're going to find in this bay. I've heard turtles are here. Apparently there's a resident dolphin that everybody sees and has a story about. So this is a pretty cool location. So I'm going to introduce some incredible guests we have today. I'm so grateful for them to joining us, and they're experts at what we're about to do. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves so I'm not the only one talking today. So let's just start with this guy.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean O'Neill. I'm the Executive Director of Peconic Baykeeper, also a Center Mauritius resident, lifelong boater and fisherman. If you go on that side of the bridge, you're in Mauritius Bay, my home waters, and here's the beginning of the Great South Bay. So it's a pretty cool place where we are right now.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Pete Maki. I work with Coastal Steward. I run the educational programs, and usually we bring a lot of kids out to the beaches to do the seining yourselves and stuff, and it's always a great time. Hopefully you'll enjoy today. We've already done one seine, and we've got a great amount of variety and lots of different species we brought in, so it should be fun.
Excellent. Now we got some girls here I think you all know.
Hi, I'm Catherine. You all know me from camp, but I'm a senior at William Floyd High School. Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm going to be a senior too at William Floyd High School.
All right, who's going to say hi? I think this nice little lady's going to introduce herself.
I'm Zariel. I'm going to be an 8th grader at William Floyd Middle School.
Beautiful. Hey girl, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Coral. I'm going to 3rd grade next year. And 9 days ago.
What school?
Hobart.
Hobart. Awesome. And we have some other cuties over there. Pete brought his kids to help identify, which is going to be great. You guys want to say hi? Give me a little wave. Hi. Okay, cool. He's the crab man right there. He knows how to pick his crabs out. Okay, so just real quick before we get started, we're going to just do as many scenes as we can, experience some cool stuff, and then we'll take some questions. Like Pete said, we've already found some really cool species, like things we have and at Carmen's River at Worthline Wildlife Refuge. So we're going to do our second scene, and remember, our goal is to keep these animals alive, right? So we're going to ask everybody's help that when we come in, we're just going to start getting animals back in the water as much as we can. So, all right, so let's go. All right. I'm going to have Miss Catherine be the photographer.
Ooh, sorry.
Here, while they're doing that, sorry, look at me. While they're doing that, I just want to show you some things that we found alive and dead. I don't know what this is. I thought it was a jelly, but it's oh, there's a live blue claw crab in there, so I'm not gonna stick my fingers in. Some fish, and we got a bone. We were trying to come up with probably a very, very large fish. That, my friend, what is that? No. Look, we'll identify it. Okay. I'm gonna hold it sideways. Yeah, it's went back small. So when they come up, you want to grab the bottom of the net.
Kind of like,
Ooh, yeah, really.
stuff though, guys. I already see.
My eyes on one.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously.
Yes, that's the one. Good job.
You nailed it. Oh my goodness. Here, let's put it in. That's a good one. Oh my gosh. You never know. Oh, now we found to keep not the seahorse, the pipefish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And we got tons of shrimp.
Oh, another toadfish.
Really?
Yeah.
How big? Like what's the size of the other ones or bigger?
Same as the others.
Oh, here, do you want to show the camera?
All right, yeah. So we have an oyster toadfish. It's one of the few fish species that have gone to space. They actually brought them into space
No kidding, really?
to study their how their balance changes.
Oh wow.
I saw like a sandy-like thing. It slithered down.
Oh,
Here, all the cool stuff I got
oh,
here.
there's an eel.
Oh, we got an eel. Here, wait, I got it right here.
Hey,
Nice.
so American eel, right?
Yep.
Yes.
You guys are totally. Oh, it's a good one.
Mummy chug.
Okay.
They're really pretty, right?
Yeah.
Lots of like sparkly looking scales and patterns.
Ooh. And you guys, we got an Elver American eel.
Nice.
You guys are totally versed at the American eel. We got an. You guys can tell me later how I know that's an Elver.
Another one.
Another Elver.
That's actually Leo's middle name is Elver.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That's right. Is it?
So we got two
Yeah.
No
eels.
kidding. So they had no choice to like marine oriented. Beautiful. Yeah, guys, let's get all these fish out, right?
A lot of mummy chugs.
Oh,
a
lots
lot
of
of
baby
silver
crabs. Here's
sides.
the crab man. Look at all the young ones here. Yeah, lots of little ones.
You don't even have to wear the pink.
You can just pick them right up, right?
Yeah, I could hold them like that.
You know what? Put them in the cool tank where we're putting all the fish. I think there's a couple.
Want to
here.
show the camera? They're closely related to seahorses. You can see by the face shape, it's almost the same. Except they're long instead of that horse shape.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, Yay! Oh, guys, we're at camp from here.
It is a day, so it's
Tell me, what kind of grass or moss is this? What would you, or sea lettuce maybe even?
So this stuff is sea lettuce. That's the whole stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly the algae grass guy.
Right. You should have brought our.
He would have known that.
Oh, we get
Yeah, I'm
cheating.
not sure we saw it.
This is Sasha trying to
It's very
get
hairless.
out.
Oh, do you think he's going to?
And here's
It's going to have
a striped killifish. You can see that the vertical stripes are starting to turn more horizontal. So this is a female, and it's very early on in changing the pattern, which you'll see in the adult females, which will be the horizontal stripes instead of verticals.
So the females are horizontal
Yes.
and the males are vertical.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think like M's are more vertical
Okay.
lines for male, and female F horizontal.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. That's great. It's a little way to remember that.
So what do you think? You think these elvers are spawned in the Carmen's River? The Carmen's is right over here. There's a lot of eels that go up there to spawn every year. So I mean, while we can't be 100% sure, I would say that's an educated guess.
Well, let me ask you this, because we study eels and we talk about the sargasso.
Yes.
But excuse me, not spawn.
Okay.
Bad
Grow
idea.
up.
Sorry. Yes. Yes. They come in from the sea. Yeah, they
Hang out here, right?
Yes,
And
this
they,
is- yeah.
So we catch a lot of glass eels up the Carmen,
All right.
elvers, and of course the
Yellow.
and the silvers. Too. Silvers we can catch.
There's a lot of baby
I think it's a fair guess that these guys are Carmen's River sort of natives.
Yeah, well that's cool, right?
And the eels are amazing because they can go fresh to salt water and anything in between. They can adapt to it. I know when people eat eels, even they can transition them to live in 100% fresh water or total salt water like the ocean. So they can move from the river to the bay to the ocean pretty much as they wish. They can transition.
Remember we talked about that every single silver eel from the Carmen's River, right, swims down the Carmen, books it about 1,000 miles to the Sargasso Sea, lays their eggs, the eggs hatch, and those little larvae turn into, they swim the 1,000 miles back, and they find the same river their parents were in. And then in the phases, the glass, elver, yellow, silver.
Pretty wild.
Isn't it wild? And they're like, it's not Andromedas. What do you call the fish that salt and Indian? Thank you. That's why I handed that one to you. I can't get
Diagonus is moving from
Diagonus.
one to the other.
Yeah.
So that's all of
Crabs
them.
and
Okay.
And then
Fish.
it's
Here, you want to show the camera real quick?
Diagonus,
Should it you?
and then
Anadromous, the
Corn in the fresh goes.
striped bass or river herring.
Right.
I think this is a blackfish too. Then this green one, or is it something else? And then look at this one. That little
Here, show the camera. Wait, let me see it. Oh, you have it?
Here, Catherine.
I would get that.
You got a hermit crab.
You got a hermit crab. Nice one,
If
buddy.
you sink to it, it comes out.
Wait, let me see. Let me see that. Oh, man. Where's the?
So this is this
Oh, here we
really
go.
little interesting guy. You can see the small, little tiny head on it there.
That is so cool. So we think that's a blackfish,
We think this is a blackfish,
and the other one. Where's the other guy? Oh, here
and
it
then
is.
this one, I say it reminds me of the lizard fish we see. I've seen people catch them when they're a little bigger over here,
Yeah.
but at this size, I'm not even sure.
Huh.
I mean, it's so early in development. Maybe it looks
Wow.
almost like an eel, but it's definitely
Yeah.
a different type of fish that's
Okay,
going to
cool.
have, more of like pectoral fins
Right.
and dorsal
Maybe
fins.
even walking like the sea robin.
Like some sort of a goby or something.
Right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oop. Sorry, pal. All right. Sorry. Thank you.
That's actually good luck for the kids too, is that You know, I've seen a good amount with groups and stuff. And when you find fish and species of different ages, they often look very different. So I have yet to master identifying everything. Every time I come out, I'm usually like, what is this? So that's common even as you get better at identifying things.
Yeah, we actually had a scene that we do just a little bit over in Forge River. We had for Day in the Life programming, we had a fish that none of the scientists, pseudoscientists like myself, anybody else could identify at all, and we had no idea. So eventually we sent it off to a couple fish ID experts, and it ended up being a Kohara, which is a tropical kind of bait fish, more native to Florida, that area, and
Interesting.
happened to be up here for some reason.
So Sean gave us a really cool little bio lesson on this junior silver side. And what were you saying about them before?
So that's like a young of the year, right? So that's not even a year old. It was probably born. They come in, the big silver sides, the steering, big ones, pregnant females come on and spawn in the bay on all the sand flats and whatnot in February, March, depending on the water temperature. And so at the beginning of the year, they'll have really big spearing. At the end of the year, the juvenile ones have become big spearing. And at this time of year, you see a lot of these baby silver sides spearing.
I was gonna say silver sides are also steering, just so you know.
Yep.
And they don't adapt well to stress, and the water's warm right now. So unfortunately, our goal is to get as many fish out of that net for to keep them alive. And unfortunately, this little one didn't make it. The only good thing about that is this is food, right, for another creature. So this will be easy catch for a crab.
I think I got
And here's an example of a very small fish, but you can see it already is showing the stripes. So this is just probably young of the year striped killifish. And you can identify it already because it's starting to show that pattern that's very distinctive for them. But some other small fish, they don't show their adult patterns that young,
Daddy.
so it's hard to tell. An invertebrate called an amphipod. So they have like arched backs. That's one giveaway, and you can look at their legs of different lengths.
That's really. So I just want to talk about the nutrients. You see that when we're seining, we brought up a lot of vegetation, right? So some of this is sea lettuce, and some of this is some mossy type of algae that we don't have our field guide to identify. Ron Gilardi would be disappointed in us. But this is a lot. This is more common in our bays and our rivers because of nutrient loading, right? Nitrates. A lot of people put fertilizers on their grass, and it's called the watershed. Where does that water go when it rains on property? What does it take with it? It takes all of that nitrates and the fertilizers right into the water. So all the vegetation in the bays and rivers are like, woohoo, we're getting all this food, when really it's sucking up all the oxygen. And unfortunately, it's not good for some of our fish and other marine species or freshwater species, raft species, because it sucks up the oxygen and doesn't leave enough for them. So that has changed over the years.
So here we always have ova, this telltale sign of nitrogen, right? So ova loves nitrogen, more ova. And when you have more of this, you get less of sort of the more beneficial to bird aquatic vegetation. Eelgrass being the big one that kind of can't compete with the algae, macroalgae, microalgae, because they can use nitrogen easier, and they can adapt to these waters easier. So the more of this we have, the less good stuff we have. Not that this isn't natural; it should be here, but there's too much of it. And a good sign of nitrogen loading, you can see a lot of this stuff.
Should we do another one? Sure. All right. So this is exciting because Pete said if we didn't get enough, there's some rocks over there that fish love to congregate. So he's like, hey, listen, we kind of scare them out. We could do a seine over there, but this is fabulous.
Funny, yeah. You want to show them a hermit crab? So that's a long wrist hermit crab. This is, I think, the most common to find usually when you're by the bay and stuff. They have the long legs. And one of the coolest things is when you get to see them out of the shell and then go into a shell. They'll kind of back in and just slip their bodies in around it. So they don't actually make those shells. Those are snail shells that they use. And there is another type called the flat claws. So if you ever find one with big fat claws, much fatter than that, it's called the flat clawed hermit crab. Those are the two major ones we have here.
And is that a mud snail shell? Is that what you would say? Like what used to live in there was a mud snail?
You think a mud snail on this one, or
Usually they're that's kind of
elongated?
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, that's not a mud snail. It's
I think it's a type of drill.
Yeah.
Maybe not a oyster drill, but it has the elongated kind of pointy shell. It comes out like a cone, like an ice cream cone.
Okay. And so something ate the snail, or it passed away of age. And so when it died or was eaten by another predator, guess who decided to make it its home? They're like, woohoo! And they found it, climbed right in, and he's happy. Cool. Awesome. So we're going to do another seine. And we're going to try another area so we can see if we find something else. And those of you here, let me just see one thing. How do I turn this on? Sorry. All right. So those of you who came on a little later, I just want to tell you where we're at. I've heard today, although this is fairly fantastic, right? Oh, look at this. Hold on. I got to turn it around. Hold on. You see that? Look at that baby. Where is he? He's between his fingers. See that? That is probably the smallest crab I've ever seen. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Love this group here today, I'm telling you. Say that again? Yeah, put it in this one with the other crabs. That'd be great. So this is really the mouth of the Carmen's. Whoa, here it goes again. This guy is like he's the wrangler. He's the crab wrangler right here. Watch him do it. So while he's doing that, so this is the mouth of the Carmen's River. Oh, now I feel like it's my feet. And dolphins, oh, he's getting out. He's finding a way out. Look at this determined young one here. He might have already, catching the crab. See, at camp, I don't let you do this, right, kids? You're like jealous. Like, how come they get to do it and I don't? Well, I just want to keep your finnies safe. Their dad's here, so as they're looking, oh, he's got a nice boot on too. That works. So there's dolphin sightings out there. You see where those boats are right now? That red buoy. There are dolphins this morning, and apparently it's this residential dolphin, and people have stories about him that frequent this Bay area. But the mouth of the Carmen's is right over there. So we're really seining the Carmen's River, the mouth of the Carmen's River. So here's our boys. Ooh, they went out deep. This is great. All right, I'm going to hand it back to our fabulous photographer. Maybe they'll come over here a little bit. Maybe we should bring some of the... Here, bring the other one too. So if they come on over here, we'll be ready for them. Thank you. All right, feeling good. You guys want to help me? You guys prefer if I get the bottom or no? There's no bottom. You want to help me get the bottom of the net and bring it up? Got it? Yeah, pull that up. Awesome. Yep. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, look at that. What is it? Oh, it's a blackfish. It's a blackfish, guys. Look at it. You got it, Catherine?
Yeah.
Let's get that guy in the water.
Let's get him a big, like,
In the cooler, right?
I get that crab.
you got it? Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so big. All right.
That's pretty rare in the seine nets to get a fish that big.
Do you guys see it?
We have another lesson. You got him.
Good job.
You okay? They're right here.
I'm not afraid of this crab. I'm not afraid of this crab. Why am I not afraid of this crab? Yes, soft shell crab here. So this is a soft shell blue claw crab. It's a she. You can tell by the kind of triangular bottom there. We call these in the crabbing industry. You call the little ones, immature ones, Sallies. The big ones, Sooks, females. So what happens is, you know, that what they have to do is they don't get their shells don't grow, right? So they have progressively larger size shells that they have to shed their previous shell and then create a new shell. So when they shed their previous shell, they come out soft like this. And this is a very soft shell. I'll have my camera person come in and attest to it. So she's you know, she's pretty new to being a soft shell. So when they're soft shells, A, they can't pinch you, and B, they're not so great at swimming. They're not so great at crawling. They're kind of vulnerable. So they hide. They're hiding in the grass and kind of pick it up in the grass. But soon the shell will get harder, and she'll be able to protect herself a little better. So right now it's just a soft shell.
Now they're vulnerable, aren't they, right now?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this out there a little bit so these guys have a chance. So guys, I found another, why am I talking? Seahorse.
Pipefish.
Pipefish.
Yeah. You were yelling pipefish when you found it.
What's wrong with me? So I found another pipefish. So I think that's like 5 we've caught, which is super cool. They're related to the seahorse, right? You can kind of tell when sweet. Well, let's come over. Let me show you. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Did I put him in here? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, pal. I don't like this. See him? Because he has the snout of a seahorse, and he has this long pipe-like body. But what happens is they put him back in. I don't like that. So the males actually carry the babies, right? The females lay their eggs into the male, and the male carries them. So when you see a pregnant seahorse or a pregnant pipefish, it's a male. And then they just explode these babies out. It's pretty cool to see. You can look it up in a documentary. But so that's pretty cool when we find those. We will find seahorses here too. Like I said, way over there, you can see that building. That's where we were last time we were together. That's the Finn's Wilderness Center. They find lots of seahorses, so, but they're related. But you get a pipefish here in the bay, and they still kind of use that long tail like the seahorse to wrap around grass to kind of sway, to catch their little algae, right, what they eat, and it keeps them camouflaged so other animals don't eat them. All right, let's see what they got. Oh,
We have that black. We should show that blackfish.
did you get a closer one?
Yeah.
You gonna do a little bio on that one?
This one?
A really big fish. Yeah.
Oh, a blue claw. Slice that spearing.
And did you find sticklebacks in the carmen?
Killed it.
Rarely.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite fish in the world. This is the blackfish, or Toga onitis. It is. So we showed we have a couple juvenile ones that are green in coloring. So the really little ones. This is still very much a juvenile, but the really little ones. I'm gonna get him back in the water. The really little ones will be green in color because they hang out in all this algae and ulva and all that stuff for camouflage. You can tell that one is still a little greenish, but getting a little blacker. They move on to hard substrate, and they have teeth. They have, yeah. So this is the real juvenile. It's like very green, right? Whereas the other one was getting a little bit blacker and browner. They move on to harder substrate, and they'll live their lives in hard areas. So mussel beds, places like the bridge, the Smith Point Bridge, it's right over here. Very famous blackfish habitat in there. Any kind of rubble, man-made shipwrecks, man-made artificial reefs, natural reefs. And so they eat crustaceans. That's their whole diet is crustaceans. One of my reasons for loving my favorite fish to catch, my favorite fish to eat, because they spend their lives eating lobsters and crabs and mussels and all the other stuff like that. They taste very good. But they have teeth in the back of their mouths, pharyngeal teeth. So they peck with front buck teeth. When they get bigger, you'll see it. It almost looks like a person's teeth. They'll peck at whatever they're trying to eat. Once they get it in, they crush it with their back teeth. So they're adapted. They don't eat fish. They eat crustaceans. Also, they're a member of the wrasse family. And if you've ever been to Florida or below, you've seen like parrotfish, that kind of stuff, the same family. They're the northernmost member of the wrasse family. So this is as far north as the wrasse gets, and that's black.
All right, I got to tell you something funny that just happened. So we're all barefoot here, right? 'Cause we're on the beach. And I stepped on something. I'm like, ouch, what is that? And this was in my foot. And I'm like, Pete, is that a burrfish spine or pointer? And look at this. So we found a washed up burrfish. Look at, oops, stinks. Look at that. It literally, I got one of his spines in my foot.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, so it looks like they're kind of almost independently formed and then just held in place like by the skin.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. So a lot of times when you see these, we'll call them blowfish or a puffer fish because they're in the same family where they puff up. But these extra spiky ones are burrfish.
Yeah.
Cool. And they're pretty common right now in the waters. Where I was asking like what we'd find, and burrfish came up as really something we'd probably find. So, but so far I think we're doing fabulous. I love it. All right.
Did it come out yet?
What is that? Oh, where you put the helmet?
No.
Oh, okay. No. So how about one more?
You want it?
Yeah. Do you mind?
Go down by the rocks?
You want to
We
do
can
that?
kind of just look and then release everything.
Okay.
We don't want to bring all the
Say hi, Courtney.
We could start by him, maybe have the kids walk and try to scare stuff out.
Okay.
And then we'll just do a quick swipe in.
Okay, that'll be fun. All right, so this is what we're gonna do.
Maybe we'll get like a little snapper or something.
All right.
Things. We'll see.
So let's empty one of those buckets, right? And then we'll bring it with us.
Keep this
We're gonna take a walk over to the rocks. We're only gonna do one more scene, and then we're gonna get to your questions, and if you have any show and tell you wanna do. But let's mix it up a little bit. And we're gonna walk over there. Mr. Pete says that there's some really cool fish, so we'll check it out. We'll do a nice scene. So why don't we, guys, do you wanna help in the scene there?
Take that with us.
You got this? Make sure everything. So Pete had an idea that once we get there, you guys can kind of walk in the water and kind of get all the fish close, right?
Follow through. Man.
And look what they did. They brought their books, marine animals to find. We have these. Actually, we could have used these way more than we did. But anyway, we're all set. We're ready to identify. I can't wait to hear you guys' questions too, you know? Here, while we're walking, if anybody has a question right now, unmute your mic and ask. Really, that many? I know you have
There's all
questions.
Ian, Billy, and Lourdes are only on.
Oh, okay, cool. Ian, I know you have a question, buddy.
Where exactly are you? Because I might
Okay.
want to go seining here. I have my own seine net.
Yeah. So we're really close to where Wertheim was. All right. In fact, like I said, Carmen's River is right over there, the mouth of it. So we're east of Wertheim Wildlife Refuge at a marina called Smith's Point Marina. Long beach here on the bay. Fishermen, seining, crabbing, and lots of boats. There's a boat ramp right there. But this is like a beautiful place to spend your day. There's a little beach. You bring a little picnic and hang out. So that's where we're at. And don't forget to come on Friday because we're going to another place called Conquag Bridge, and that is going to be, I think, even more diverse than this. All right, you got this.
Guys, go wide. Wide. I'm thinking kind of angle towards this.
Alright, let's see what we got. Courtney, do you want to fill up that bucket with water? Down over there.
Pretty empty. Yeah. All right, maybe we'll step out this way and come back.
Sure.
Looks like someone had a clam feast here.
Yeah, I saw that.
I know there's been good clamming out here. By the bridge, there's not as much water movement, though, so usually it's not as clean. You shouldn't really eat them. You want to pour near the inlets.
Zariel. Zariel. Can you fill this up with water?
A lot of shrimp on this end. Some fish on this end.
Good, get that crab. Quick.
It's right. Let them run away. We already showed a few across. Here's one. Is this the sheep's head? I think it is.
What's this thing?
Here's another pie.
Daddy?
Sheep's head. So these ones, I think they look a decent amount like adult blackfish pattern, but they got this hump here. They're a sheep's head minnow. We got 2 of them here. And it's kind of interesting because we didn't get any over there. So in just moving down the beach, we're finding different species.
Look, there's a whole bunch. Yeah. Hey, another sheep head.
Yeah. Blackfish?
Yes. That's been a little bigger, right?
Yeah.
Or a little more black.
That one. Oh, sorry. So that's the sheep's head minnow. See, it's fatter. It's got more of like a hump on the back. And this is a blackfish, an immature blackfish or a baby blackfish. It's starting to look like it. The shape looks pretty good. For these babies, they don't have the big fat blackfish lips. That's usually what distinguishes them from me. They have these big fat lips and these big ugly teeth inside because they chew on crabs and they feed on crabs.
I found a shrimp with eggs.
You want to show them? There's a shrimp with eggs.
Another shrimp with eggs.
I pick it up and show the camera.
It looks like right here. Yeah.
You can hold it and show kind of.
Oh, that is cool.
You found another one. Can you guys see it?
Don, do you have any bio on shrimp eggs or meat? On shrimps and their reproductive?
Very cool.
You know, I don't know a lot of the details, but they carry the eggs with them. It's a lot like if you've been on the beach, if you've seen the mole crabs. A lot of people call them the sand crabs that dig underneath. This time of year, if you look under the belly, they're holding orange eggs underneath a lot of the females. So the shrimp also have the eggs kind of tucked under the tail. So they're keeping them with them for protection, not just leaving them out there where a lot of stuff will feed on them.
All right.
And they're kind of translucent, so you can see their hearts and the eggs and some of the inner organs. Really.
I had an aquarium at my house. It was just bay water with bay species, and the shrimp are my favorite to watch.
It's so cool.
They're so cool to
They
observe.
look almost like horses, like trotting around. They move their legs even while they're swimming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I love the flick. They're scared.
Right.
and they just break down.
I enjoyed that.
Oh, got another egg tasting. You might go see it right now.
Oh, of what?
This is most likely
I
some
can't
sort
get
of
in.
snail.
You do it?
Yeah.
I just can't see what we're. Okay, here we go. So I wondered what that was. So let me get out of the sun. So that's.
Yeah, so it's like gelatinous tube, with eggs inside it.
And we don't know what species that is.
I'm not sure what species that is.
Wow, that's cool. So I think if there's anything else, I think this is a good time just to say thank you guys so much. Do you have anything else you'd like to, any words of wisdom you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
Be nice to your mates. They'll be nice to you.
Ooh, I love that one.
I just think that, you know, you got a good introduction today and with Melissa's class, but there's always more to learn. So come out more, look more, always pay attention to what you're seeing, and always ask like what kind of species that is, because you'll learn new things. Like I can't identify this egg casing because Melissa asked what species it was. Now I want to go find out, you know, and then I'll know more for next time. So that's always a good way to learn.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you, Sean. Thank you to my fabulous. Does anybody else want to say anything here? My young leader group here.
I wish you guys were here with us. It's so weird having it virtual, but it's very cool.
Cool. Thank you. And then for our young leaders here, you guys want to wave goodbye to your new friends? Awesome. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is turn it back to me. So I'm just going to start walking back. I'm going to take some questions. Will you help them get the whole thing? So guys, if there's any questions, this is the time to ask. In fact, maybe I'm leaving a little too early, but are there any other questions that you have? I know some of you don't have audio. Miss Lourdes, I know you have plenty of questions knowing you, right? I'm so glad you're on today. Ian, Zoe. All right. Okay. Well, I just want to say it's so wonderful having you. This was our first Wednesday class, and it's not our last. All right. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday and Friday. So jump on every Wednesday, Friday at 11. I'm trying to get into really cool things. I don't want to give it away because I don't know if we can do it yet, but I'm going to try to make this as fun and exciting as possible. So I want to say thank you guys for joining us again, okay? And make sure you come on Friday. We're going to do this, but we're going to do it at the Conquag Bridge. So let's see what's different between the Great South Bay and the Shinnecock Bay, right? And we're going to have some other educators there that are experts at this. This is so great. We had Sean and Pete and his team. We're going to have some other great leaders and experts on Friday. All right? I miss you guys. See you later.